Hi and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Worthwhile Wednesday. I am Jess, and welcome to the Starlight Realm by Jess. Hope you guys are having a good evening. I am working on Kitchen Helpers again by Randall Spangler from Diamond Art Club, and I was getting ready to finish this block right here, so I went ahead and opened up another block so that we have plenty to work on while we're doing our Worthwhile Wednesday. I am working on the down arrow, which is number 890, which is a dark green, like a forest green. So today for Worthwhile Wednesday, I thought we would focus on a couple of quotes. First one I have is, "Life is too short for long-term grudges," and that's by Elon Musk. So I do truly feel that life is too short to hold on to anger, to hold on to hate. If you watched my last Whip and Chat, you know that we had family friends that had a terrible tragedy this week, and it just makes you remember that every day is precious. Every moment with loved ones is precious. You know, life is too short. I would like you to try and think of somebody that you are holding a grudge against. Do you have anybody like that? Is it your sister, your mom, best friend? Is there anybody out there that you're holding a grudge against that, man, you know what? It's just not worth it. Life is too short. Would you feel okay knowing that you didn't speak to that person because of this grudge, because of the hard feelings, the hurt that you have? I always think of those things. I've had friends and, you know, family members and stuff that holding those hard grudges, and I just always, you know, you don't know what's going to happen. Life is short. Life is unpredictable. I think that you need to spread the love, open yourself up to that love, because it's just too short. We're not guaranteed tomorrow, and it's not even, you know, oh, I could walk out my door and get hit by a car. Yeah, you could. You could walk into a grocery store and a crazy man shoot it up, you know. You could go to church, same thing. You could be at home on a Sunday morning. Somebody comes after you. You could be in that car wreck. You could get hit by a bus. Everybody always says, oh, you could get hit by a bus. You could. You could get on that airplane and never get back off of it. Life is too short. Life is too precious. So think if you have that person in your life that you're holding a grudge against, pick up the phone, give them a call, clear your conscience. You don't want the last words that you said to them, that person that you love to be harsh, to be no words at all, to hold that grudge. That grudge, that anger, that hurt, that's heavy in your own heart. You need to forgive. I'm not saying you forget. It's a little harder. But definitely forgive that person. Because you love that person. Whether they deserved it or not, you love them. Sorry, we're doing T, which is 413. Another I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. So yeah, so grief happens at its own pace. You know, they say, oh, time heals all wounds. I think grief just evolves into something different. I mean, it's still grief. You know, you're always going to miss that person. You're always going to love that person. But, you know, grief just changes as time goes by. I don't think this is something I've talked about, but I lost my best friend in college just a few days after my oldest, Sophia, was born. I saw some people posting on Facebook stuff, and I didn't know what was going on. She was planning to come see the baby, and she was a bad asthmatic, very severe. She was sick. She was not feeling so great, so she took some over-the-counter, like cold medicine, flu medicine, and went to bed. The medication had a bad reaction with her asthma medications, and she passed away in her sleep. Her mom found her the next day. She was like 23 years old. She was truly one of the brightest people, not just smart. She was smart, but she was a bright spot. I didn't know anybody who didn't like her, that she couldn't make laugh. She was a talented musician. She was a teacher. And she will forever be in my heart. Do I still have grief? Yeah. I'm sorry. 317. But, and do I cry sometimes? Yeah. But it's also morphed over the years. It's changed. It's evolved. There are moments that I know that she's there. I can feel her. Or she gives me a little something. A little sign that shows me she is. A ladybug, which was one of her things, land on my pant leg. Or my daughter, Sophia. choosing clarinet because that was Tiffany's instrument. And she was so good at it. And Tiffany would be hooting and hollering, and she would be her #1 fan. I tended to always have friends that were woodwind players. But Tiffany was super special. My family friends who lost their son, brother, twin, there are no words that any of us can say. We can be here if they need to cry, scream, yell, kick, fight, sob, you know. We can be here for them for those things. But man, that's about it. You know, you can you can't, somebody who's taken away so tragically, so violently, like, how do you recover? You know, how do you get up every day? That's what they're dealing with. That's what his poor mom is dealing with. Oop, that one just popped out. That was me. So, let go. Life is too short. I wish I would have told Tiffany, you know, one more time that I loved her. I'm sure that that's what Morgan's family and friends are thinking too. They could have hugged him one more time. They could have laughed with him one more time. Because he was a character. He was, oh, that one popped out. He was a fun guy, you know. He had 2 little girls. Oops. You know. Who now are going to have to grow up without their dad. Yeah, they're a little too young to understand, I think. Sorry, I had to wipe my nose because I was crying. But, you know, I'm sure that their mama, you know, one more hug, one more kiss. Let go of those grudges. Life is too short, too precious. All right, moving on. Worthwhile Wednesday. Let's get into something a little lighter, huh? Ooh, you know, let's take a drink. Everybody, I'm drinking just some Coke Zero. But whatever you're drinking, coffee, tea, a little stronger. If you're drinking apple juice, whatever, have a sip. We all need a sip right now. So, to move on to Worthwhile, like the rest of Worthwhile Wednesday, the thing that I decided to talk about, the 3 things I decided to talk about this week are documentaries. I love documentaries, I always have. My husband and I like documentaries. We watch a lot of them together, and there are just so many that I'll probably do this one a couple of times. Actually, all of them I'm going to end up doing more than once, I believe, because, yeah, they're just so good. So, the first one I want to talk about, one of my favorites, is The Civil War by Ken Burns. It is just a classic. It's pictures, it's music, it's narrated beautifully. There's a lot of great voice acting in it, voice actors, I should say, in it. There's, interviews with historians and whatnot. And it's just a really good one. It's longer. I think there's like 8 episodes of it. You can find it on PBS sometimes. I do know you can purchase it on Vudu. It was on Netflix at one time, but I do not think it is there anymore, nor is it on Prime Video, I don't think. But it's very, very good. It is a classic. It's one that I highly, highly recommend. Just super good. Following, not only officers, but just some regular infantrymen going through different battles, and where everything started, where everything ended, and just going through a lot of the history stuff of it. It's just so good. There's just, every episode is just chock full of great stuff. And again, like I said, the music's really good too. Like the background music that they put underneath everything is very, very much almost a character unto itself. And I think that's part of what makes a really good score. Did I say we were on? Sorry. 3371 brown. I can't remember if I did that or not. If I didn't, there we go. If I did, sorry for repeating myself. But yeah, the score is almost a character unto itself. It's just that good. My husband, I placed those so badly. My husband actually bought it for me on Vudu because him and I enjoy it so much, and we watched it over and over again. So, if you get the chance to watch Civil War, take it, because it really is a very worthwhile documentary. And I think even if you aren't like a huge history buff or whatever, you might find it really fascinating. You know what I mean? The way that they put it together and the old photos and all of that. I think it's just, it's very, very good. I think you should give it a shot. So that's my first one. Second one, I'm gonna go with March of the Penguins. And this is, I believe 20th Century Fox did it. And Morgan Freeman is the narrator for that one. And I actually saw this in theaters. Back when it first came out, it was in very, very limited theaters because it was a documentary and they just didn't show them in all the theaters. They probably still don't. 335. This like darker terracotta color. But anyway, so I actually had to go to a special theater in another city, another part of the city in Pittsburgh, to see it. Because it wasn't playing, oh, sorry, I hit you. It wasn't playing in the theater closest to us. So, I think it's just one of those that just always stuck with me. Morgan Freeman is such a commanding voice, such a distinctive voice, and he just did such a good job with the narration. And you think about what the filmmakers went through and watched, and in the time that they invested, it just, and you got to see this whole life of these amazing creatures unfold. It was just amazing. The cinematography is so good. It's so breathtaking. The you know, all of the scenery, and you know, amazing what these animals go through, you know, to bring forth the next generation, you know. It's really a very touching story, and bittersweet, the ones that end up, you know, the egg doesn't survive. You know, it's just very, you know, poignant, very worthwhile. I think if you haven't seen it, please definitely check it out. I'm not real sure if you can stream it anywhere. I didn't think to look that up. Might be able to find it on YouTube or something, or, you know, look for it on Vudu. And my last one is Won't You Be My Neighbor, which is like the life and times of Mr. Rogers from PBS, of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. He was a Pittsburgher. I live, you know, right outside of Pittsburgh, in West Virginia, and grew up with Mr. Rogers. Grew up watching Mr. Rogers. Such a the documentary is so good, and you know, I cried several times. Which, if you can't tell, I'm a crier. I'm a Pisces. I wear it all right out here in front for everybody to see. So it just like goes through, you know, his life and times, and him, you know, going before Congress, and you know, him, you know, swimming his laps, and the sweaters, and you know, his wife, and the different people that he, you know, talked with on his show, and you know, how he opened up, you know, to dealing with fun things like how crayons are made, but also hard things, you know, death and whatnot, and taught us as children that it was okay to have our feelings, and that we were loved. And I think teaching adults that we had big feelings, and that it was okay, and that, you know, we needed to be talked to and comforted and everything. He was colorblind, for those who didn't know. So when he put those sweaters on, you know, he didn't know what colors they were, really. That's why some of them were a little weird. But his mom made his sweaters. Yeah, he was one of those genuinely nice persons, you know what I mean? Like, so that one's really good. I own that one too. My husband bought me that one. Can you tell? Oh, look. Did you see this? I missed a K. Can you see that? What if we go down? Right there. I missed a K way down there. Oops. Let's grab him real quick. I don't think there are any even K's over here. No. Ooh. I just missed that one. Let's see if we can pull just one out. Oh, look, it's stuck to the side of the pen. That's okay, I guess. Where did it go? There it is. Bam. Got him where he was supposed to go. So those are my 3 worthwhile things for this Wednesday. Don't forget to do your meditation. We talked about that a few weeks ago. I said I'd remind you. Are you doing your meditation? Are you taking the time? 938 for yourself. I hope you are. Hope you're, taking time to get out and feel the sunshine when it's out. Do your meditation. Bring yourself back to center, back to that positive spot. Yeah. So, oh, I forgot to tell you. What number is this? 938. So, yeah. I know this one was heavy. I cried, sorry. Maybe I shouldn't be sorry. I just dropped a diamond somewhere. There it is. Come back. Come back. But grief is a natural process. I guess my big thing is love one another. Hug your kids tighter. Hug your spouse tighter. Hug your mom and dad tighter. Hug your brother tighter. Life is so short. Our quote said, so short. On a promise tomorrow. Anything could happen. Anything. Love one another. Get those hugs in. Call that person you've been holding a grudge to. Forgive them. Tell them you love them. Life is too short. I'm gonna leave you guys with a quote by Queen Elizabeth II. Grief is the price we pay for love. Boy, and doesn't that sum it up? Without that love for those people, we wouldn't have the grief. Love them a little deeper today. Hug them a little bit longer. Put your head down in their hair and smell them. Cherish every moment. Forgive. Don't hold that grudge. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Do the things like subscribe, share with a friend, drop me a comment. Do me a favor and hug that person you love just a little bit tighter tonight. Make sure you tell them before you go to bed, before you walk out the door, that you love them. Thanks for joining me in the Starlight Realm by Jess. Have a good night, everybody.